I think in 2022, people are going to start realizing there are other options out there. I think we're all coming out of our parents' generation where we now know that we don't have to drink to have fun. And we saw what happened to our parents and to our families who are filled with alcoholics. And I think our generation and those younger than us are seeing that and deciding that they, maybe they don't have to drink. What's up, guys? How is everybody doing today? Happy New Year to everyone. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome. I think what I want to talk about today is kind of what our version could be of the kind of new year, new me mentality. There are millions and millions of people out there who are struggling with the idea of not drinking and the concept of like, what does it even mean to not drink? Does that mean I'm an alcoholic if I don't drink? Does that mean that, I'm going to be lonely and alone and like banished by people if I don't drink? You have this feeling that maybe you should stop drinking, or you're wondering if maybe you should stop drinking, or you are a little bit insecure about it, or you've been trying, or you've never even considered it, but you feel anxious or depressed, or you want a better life for yourself. This is what we want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is what a New Year's kind of like, I guess it's going to be a resolution could be. And this is one that I made for myself. It wasn't on New Year's, but I made the resolution about 3 years ago to actually decide to fully stop drinking. I want to talk about why I did that. And I want to talk about how to do that. And I want to talk about like why I'm even making this video in the first place. It has so dramatically improved my life to stop drinking, like in so many more ways than I even knew when I was drinking that it would, that I want to express that to people out there that could benefit from this. Like when I was looking for, or when I was considering not drinking, I really couldn't find very many people that didn't drink like at all. Like I was all over YouTube, I was all over Google, like, and everything was kind of like talking about maybe the benefits of wine and like a glass a night and like, okay. But really outside of that, it was like AA and I think maybe one person who didn't drink, but it was like an explainer video. So I didn't realize I had a drinking problem because everybody else around me drank. And so it was normal. You might not even realize how much happier and more fulfilled you could be if you stopped drinking. And from the bottom of my heart, I truly just want people to hear this message, because I believe that if we knew that we had options, that we didn't have to drink, and it didn't mean that we were weird or something was wrong with us if we couldn't hang. If we knew that it was normal to stop drinking, I believe that the world would be filled with much happier people and much healthier people. So, okay, to the point of the video. As far as the benefits of not drinking, right? So if we're talking about 2022, think about what you could have. And this is really just the truth about what it is. Let's just do vanity first. I lost about 20 to 25 pounds in a matter of literally 5 weeks, you guys. You're like inflamed when you drink. So you're holding on to fat. And I have another video on this actually. It's about weight loss and like how I lost the weight and stuff and why that works that way in your body. But that's first thing. Just talking about vanity, you want to look good in the new year. We all got gym memberships. Do yourself a favor, cut out drinking. I promise you will just drop weight like that and it'll be so much easier. And if you want to build muscle, I put on stacks of muscle in like a quarter of the amount of time that I did before when I was drinking. So you cannot not improve from not drinking. That's number one. The other positives, okay? So I used to live in a high state of anxiety, like all the way up here all the time. You feel like this tension in your chest all the time. Your heart's racing, your mind's racing. You're just kind of looping all the time in thoughts. I was on Prozac for 9 or 10 years before I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking, you guys, and my anxiety, I'm not going to say it 100% went away because I think I just have anxiety. I would say about 95% of it gone. I even dropped out of college before I stopped drinking because I was so anxious, and I stopped drinking and it was just gone. Depression, okay? So anxiety and depression kind of go hand in hand. What we don't realize is like, though we know alcohol is like the depressant that everybody says it is, I don't think I realized how linked the hangover was to my depression and anxiety until I stopped drinking. We're talking about having an amazing year. Let's cut the shit. Let's cut the anxiety. Let's cut the depression. If you stop drinking, I'm not going to promise you that it's going to go like completely away, but it's going to be, I mean, your life will change. If it will change like mine did. You know, weight loss, anxiety, depression. All right, let's talk about productivity. Holy crap. Okay. I used to think I was being productive. Nope. You are unable to believe how much you get done when you stop drinking. I will be able to go out with my friends. I can go to the bars. I can go to, parties. I can go to kickbacks. I can stay up till 4 a.m. if I want to, which often I do. But I can drive there and leave when I want. And then, if I choose to wake up at 6 the next day and go for a trail run, I'll do it. Or if I need to wake up at 6 that day to go to work for some reason, I can do it and I'm not hungover. You get to have your cake and eat it too. Not only that, but my productivity in terms of like my abilities to like perform just freaking like exploded. I was able to produce more in my job than everybody else. And I'm not bragging. I'm not saying like I'm so great. I'm literally saying the difference wasn't that I was smarter. I actually was able to have a clear mind. Even if we're just social drinkers, like just Fridays and Saturdays, you will be amazed at how productive you are when you stop drinking. So if you're trying to make this year your year, you want to make a side hustle, you're trying to get out there and just absolutely kill it at your job, you want to get a promotion, you want to make your own company, you quit your job and you're ready for a new life, you want to have more fun, let's say, you want to go do more trips, adventure more. Stop drinking and watch your life take off. Like seriously. It's amazing. At least, that's how it was for me and everybody else that I know that stopped drinking. Your productivity explodes. The fifth thing that happened to me when I stopped drinking was my memory. My memory like dramatically improved. Okay. When I was in college, in high school, like I found myself like forgetting stuff, or it was just normal to not have like a crisp memory. And now it's just so much stronger. I'm actually leading teams of people who look to me for the answers, and that's post-drinking. And the reason is because not only is my productivity better, but my memory is like so sharp, so strong. So whatever you're trying to do this year, you want to, make more money. Maybe you just have a lot of kids and you need to remember schedules. Maybe you have a side hustle or 2 or 3. Maybe you're just you living your life and you don't even know your memory is kind of rare. If you stop drinking, when you stop drinking, your memory is going to just get so crisp. It's going to be awesome. Okay, 6th reason. I was living in a fog. I didn't even know it. When I stopped drinking, it was like the fog lifted. And again, you guys, I wasn't like drinking every night for like, 6 hours a night or 2 beers a night even. Like it was like Thursdays maybe, Fridays always, Saturdays always, Sundays maybe. Even then, my fog just lifted. It really is called a fog. Because people who like stop drinking kind of like come out of this like weird kind of like middle state almost of kind of being I don't know how to explain it. It's just a fog. So you come out of this fog and suddenly you're like have so much clarity. It's like, whoa. The final reason, and I have a lot more, I really do, but I'm going to try to keep this shorter. I'll put it in another video. Whoops. The final reason for like a positive for not drinking is you reconnect with yourself. My question to everybody, and what I wish somebody would ask me before was, do you even know who you are without alcohol present in your life? Because if anybody's like me, I started drinking at 13, 14, 50% of my life up until the point that I stopped drinking, I had been drinking, which means I was suppressing emotions, which means I was socializing with alcohol, which meant that I was like picking friendships and partnerships because of how alcohol would make me be. Like the drunk goggles, like they're not just like a one night thing. They kind of like dictate a lot of your life, whether you know it or not. And now I don't drink, I know it. I'm always who I am, but my preferences changed completely when I stopped drinking because I didn't have anything to mask it. There was nothing there to make me feel happier. There was nothing there to make me feel more, energetic, have like an endorphin rush, to anything that alcohol does, right? So that's my question to you is, do you even really know who you are at your core, without drinking? You're probably pretty dope. You're probably honestly a very cool person. Give yourself a chance if you're considering not drinking, and yes, you will still keep your friends, and yes, you will still stay cool or whatever. Yes, you will still have a social life, and it's not that big of a deal to stop drinking. To everybody else, all you have to do is choose to have a better life. So now talking about what is it that how did I do it, right? So how did I actually become this person that had this resolution and stick with it? Um, well, I basically made a decision that day, and I think I told one person. You don't want to bring any more attention to yourself than necessary, because this new identity, it's going to feel uncomfortable until it's comfortable, and it will get comfortable. But until then, it's going to be like a pretty big internal shift, okay? The best thing that I did for myself when I made the resolution was to simply not tell anyone and get comfortable with my own identity before anybody had any say on who I was going to be and how I was going to do it, okay? Maybe tell your spouse, okay? It could be your spouse or your partner, but like anybody that like lives with you maybe who might affect this, maybe tell them so that they don't kind of like tempt you and they can kind of support you in it. But outside of that, keep it quiet. You've probably grown up with people, like if you're in your hometown, or you've probably partied and gone to bars with people, taken shots with everybody. You might have your favorite beer. You might go and get whiskeys with your boys and with the girls, get, drinks at 5 p.m. on happy hour. Do yourself a favor and just don't try to tell anybody what you're doing before you yourself are comfortable with who you are. That is what I did. A great way to practice this is to basically go out by yourself. Maybe that sounds kind of weird, but like maybe after work, go to a bar and sit down and order a soda water, order a Coke. Do not order any alcohol, okay? Practice it. Practice going out and ordering, something that's non-alcoholic. Order a virgin, whatever it's going to be, and do this quietly, right? Don't tell anybody about it. Practice this new identity with yourself. Another way to do this is to just kind of like avoid the drinking situations. So after I stopped drinking, even though like I was very ready to do it, it's still like an adjustment. And I didn't fully trust myself to go out with the same crew of people that I would normally go out with, or like engage, go to the places I was normally going to on Fridays and Saturdays. So I actually, for like probably a month or so, I stayed in. Like it wasn't like by myself. I would just go hang out with people and not drink. Now, if you're somebody that like all of your friends and family does drink no matter what, even if it's like a movie night or if it's like just staying in or like dinner and that kind of stuff, that's not abnormal, unfortunately, but maybe seek out people that are sober like you. Go to meetups, meetup.com. You can find sober groups on there to meet new sober friends. Go on Bumble. Literally, you can put in the information for people who do and don't drink. And Bumble is for also finding friends. It's not just for like dating. I know that kind of sounds weird, but like it's there if you want it. But really, all I did was I just kicked it with friends that I didn't, or that I knew weren't going to drink that night, or I just hung out by myself and I didn't tell them. I just kept it to myself. Got real comfortable with it, got enough days underneath me to where I was like, okay, we're going. Now, if you guys want to tell people for this resolution, do it if that's what helps you, because it is an identity shift. You're no longer who you were. You are now who you are, right? You have to be it to become it. And that sounds so cliche and cheesy, but it's so true. So I just had to be it and kind of solidify, like mold into that. And then I was comfortable, I would say, after, I think it took me like 3 months to finally tell people, and then that was it. It was like something, I don't know, just like clicked. And if that hasn't happened to you yet, if you're really trying to get there, it will happen if you stay consistent with this. Start really absorbing information about the negative impacts of alcohol, and you start paying attention to it and all that kind of stuff. It will happen. Okay. So that's basically like how I did it. Okay. So I want to talk about why I came to this resolution a little bit too. Okay. So just to give a little context, the resolution came after I had a really intense bender. Okay. What ended up happening was, actually my mom, who is an alcoholic, at the time, her drinking problem got really, really bad. that suddenly happened out of nowhere. My partner and I, we broke up. That was really intense because we basically lived together, and it was just kind of a messy breakup. My job situation was a little bit iffy. Plus, I had moved out of my place and into a new place by myself. So kind of like all four things happened at once that made everything just like explode. So I went on this bender, right? Like this crazy 3-4 day bender. I drank wine, I drank whiskey, I drank vodka, I drank tequila, I drank, I said wine already, I drank basically anything I could get my hands on. I drank beer, I drank whatever. And then I woke up at the end of this bender and I've never felt so bad in my life. And as I'm saying that, I'm going to totally call myself out on that. I had felt just as bad, if not worse, before in my life. But at this point, I was fed up. There were enough like bad things that had happened to me and around me that were, whether I wanted to believe it or not, all directly related to drinking. I sort of kind of subconsciously knew that. The other reason was that as my mother was really dealing with her alcoholism, I was trying to help her and trying to tell her, you know, everything that you're dealing with, all your problems that you have are all stemming from this one thing, and it's alcohol. Like, just stop drinking. While I was drinking. So talk about like a hypocrite. Like I was like such a hypocrite. Here I am on a 4-day bender and trying to tell my mom, who's really struggling, who I love to death, to stop doing exactly what I'm doing. It really reframed what alcohol could do in a negative way to me. I made a resolution on that day to never drink again. I woke up that morning. I decided to never drink again. I felt horrible for the next like 3-4 days because I was still hungover and exhausted and recovering. And that was it. It was a decision, you guys. It was a decision to literally change my identity. If you catch yourself doing stuff that are out of character for you and you're embarrassed, if you're kind of hiding your drinking patterns from people, it's a clear sign. I did that a lot. Anything like that, I would encourage anyone, if they're feeling the ways like that I really felt for years, to consider this resolution for 2022. Life is so freaking good without drinking, and I don't miss it. I don't miss out on anything, and it's incredible. So that's kind of like my resolution story. Anyways, guys, I really hope that if anybody is kind of looking at going down this path, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I just communicate this kind of stuff to kind of give exposure to people, because when I was considering not drinking, there was no one. I mean, literally no one. Go ahead and subscribe if it did. Share it with somebody if you think it would help them. Please like it if you liked it, because then that basically tells YouTube to get it out there so that more people can see this. We can help more people, and you know, if you like it and share it and all that kind of stuff, you'd be part of that. And yeah, if you have any other comments that you like want to mention, any questions, throw them down there on the comments section, because I'm sure like if you have it, somebody else will also have it. I know I had a million before I stopped drinking. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any opinions or resolutions, let me know. And yeah, happy 2022. I'm excited to keep it going. All right, guys, talk to you later. See ya.